Instagram. Okay. So, pretty big announcement. So, one of the issues that I've run into, and it's a great problem to have, and I'm thankful for everybody that orders a knife for me, is getting knives produced quick enough, because I do everything by hand. And it's just a slow go. It just takes a couple days to make a knife. It is what it is. So what I wanted to do was take one of my designs that's popular, and then, what's the word I'm looking for? Have it done by an OEM is what my goal was, where I can have a large part of the process done by an OEM, so that would shorten up my production time, and I could have actually, like, for instance, so I have a website that I've never made go live because I never have anything to put on it, because I make a batch of knives to drop, and then I go through customs, and then I make a batch to drop, and then I go through customs. So there's nothing extra I really have. Every now and again I have a knife that's like, and I throw that up on Blade Binge, or I'll do a drop on Blade Binge. So the idea was, if I can find an OEM and go to an OEM and then have them do the bulk of it, and then I do some of the more important stuff, I'd be able to turn more knives. So, okay. So here's a 3D printed model. This is like to the tits, my tried and true drop point model. So I think this one is a 3.25 inch blade. It's like a 4 1/4 inch handle. So it's like 7.5 inches overall. So it's my tried and true model. It started off as my version of like a bird and trout knife. And what I've done over time is, this has all stayed the same. I've just made the handle. You can see I've just brought the blade down a little bit, because I want like maximum amount of life on this edge, on the blade. So it used to be about maybe an 1/8 inch higher. It was a little more slimmer, like an actual bird and trout, when people ask me to do that, I will make the blade a little slimmer. But what I've done is I've just extended that blade a little bit taller, so you still have that same thin profile, but more life in the blade. That's all it is. So this is a 3D printed model, an exact 3D printed model of it. So instead of being press fit and epoxy scales, are going to be removable scales with hardware. The scales will be machined. Like I said, the hardware is machined, and that'll be removable. It's going to have this cool, kind of invisible lanyard tube, where you can take the scale off, put some lanyard through it, put the scales back on. And if you don't want it, you won't see it. So there used to be like on my handmade ones, there's a lanyard tube right here with this. It'll be through here. So if you don't want it, you'll never see it. Okay. The steel is going to be K390. Going to run it. I got to get back. So they'll be following my exact. So for this first run, first I got to see if everything comes back, right? Rather than me heat treating, 200 knives or whatever, I'm giving the protocol to a small batch heat treater. If it all comes back and it looks good and it sharpens good and it performs how I want it, then they'll be doing my protocol at their facility. I've heard great things about it. Should be fine. If not, then I'll heat treat them all. What I will be doing is hand grinding all these. So for at least this run, maybe in the future they'll be machine ground, but for now I'm going to hand grind them all. So the same hollow grind, same thin geometry. They'll all be 100 thousandths blade stock with these about 1/4 inch scales. And these are all going to be chamfered. So you see they got a nice chamfer. Obviously not the crazy contouring and rounding that I have, but they're going to be super comfy nonetheless. They'll be a little bit slimmer in this dimension than my usual. My usual scales are just a hair bigger than that, just a cunt hair bigger than that, like that. And like I said, so micarta, we're doing micarta scales, removable hardware. K390 on the blade, should be 66, 67 Rockwell. We're going to see what it comes back at. I'm shooting for 67, but 66.5 I'll allow. If not, I'll just do them all myself. And then I'm going to be hand grinding all these and making the sheets and all that. So that should cut the production down time dramatically. So it's going to, I'm going to sharpen them. I'm going to grind them, finish grind them, attach the handles, make the sheath, sharpen them out to go, and maker's mark. Now, who the OEM is. before everyone, because I know everyone's going to want to jump down my fucking throat about this. I have searched. This is not like a over, like a fly by night decision. This is something that's been going on for months, right? So I've been searching and searching and searching and searching and searching and searching, and there's just zero OEM work or OEM companies that can do OEM work here in the States under like 200, 300 pieces. It just doesn't really exist. I've tried. I asked around. You just can't find it. Like everyone, and if you're a single, one guy like me, little tiniest of operations of all operations, forking up the cash for 300 of these things at one time is like a lot and more than I could do. So I reached out to a few, I've obviously got friends that are, YouTubers that have had knives made by Chinese OEMs. So I reached out to some of them and I talked to a few different other OEMs, and what it's looking like is it's probably going to be Bestech. One of the benefits of this is going to be I'm going to be able to sell these at a lower cost than I would sell my handmade knives. My handmade knives are like $299. With K390, it would probably be somewhere like $310 or $315 just to cover the extra cost of the steel and the extra abrasive cost. So it's going to be, it'll be it'll be at or under $299 for sure. It'll be $299 or under, which would be, let's say $15-$20 cheaper than I would be able to do it by hand, and maybe even cheaper than that. So, I tried. I asked forever, for months and months and months. I've talked to everybody. There's no one that can do it for even even close to 100 pieces or so like that. It is what it is. They just don't exist here in the States. So, it's going to be. So I guess I don't know if this counts as like a mid-tech or whatever you want to call it, but it'll be, like I said, scales machine, removable hardware, hidden lanyard tube, K390, 66, 67 Rockwell, but hand ground by me, hand sharpened by me. So 50-50 distribution. So I'm hoping to have like 50 of these, or I might just maybe I'll do like 25 and then I'll do 20. Maybe I'll do them in different. I don't know if I'm going to do them all exactly the same, all satin. Maybe I'll do some stone wash. Maybe I'll do some acid stone wash. We'll see. But, excuse me. But, yeah. So, super, super stoked to get these out. It should be happening in the next couple months, probably before Blade Show or right around Blade Show time. So, that's what I'll be focusing on. So, and they'll be, like I said, as cheap, same price or probably cheaper than what I can make them for here. That's the goal. That's the beauty of manufacturing is we can use the processes to make a knife that's same quality, but make more of them faster and cheaper. So rock and roll. I'm sure everybody's going to slam me for talking to a Chinese OEM. It is what it is. But they're going to be dope. So rock and roll. Hope y'all are having a fucking phenomenal Tuesday.